Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tato's Hardcore Media. Um, I'm doing this part two here. Um, this mysterious drones, those for military bases, uh, New Jersey, stuff like that. Um, I want to do this follow up that kind of is, it isn't, but it has to do with questions he was getting because some stuff I already know about and stuff, and um, talking about psychic abilities, telepathy, stuff like that is something that I known about for a long time. CIA has had Stargate and all these other programs had to do with psychic abilities, using people's psychic abilities to spy on other countries, remote viewing. Um, I've had some of those abilities myself. Um, and with some of the women that I know of, um, I think there's certain things that some of us have, family. I've had that with, um, and remote viewing, seen into the future, um, possible futures, and stuff like that. And here, let's get
And by the way, the American public should be asking themselves, what about the JFK assassination?
here.
Okay, moving on. Next question. At DAARK, at Dark982, question for Mr. Coulter. What is your take on why the NHI do not just reveal themselves? Do you agree with the idea that there is an agreement for delayed or complete non-disclosure? Because if true, I would find that to be somewhat confusing behaviour on behalf of the NHI. I also think that if they were waiting for us to be ready, that maybe we wouldn't be seeing them in our skies, or maybe at all. Thanks for the work you do and hoping to hear your thoughts. Okay, Mr. Dark. I think there's a really interesting explanation that I'm beginning to hypothesize. This is only a speculative hypothesis on my part, but it is based on work that I am doing.
And for me, of course, I've always been saying, um, it's because military industrial complex, the power over knowledge, um, and how people in intelligence and the military industrial complex want to control not only this technology but psychic abilities and everything for themselves. They don't want the public to have the information. It destroys religions as well, and it puts all the oil industry out, out on the streets. It bankrupts them. All the energy companies, there wouldn't be any need for them whatsoever. Uh, it it would really shake up the whole planet to its core, and how these religions are seen as fakes and nothing but tribalism, as it really has been, um, and how we should have, you know, free energy and stuff like that. It should have been free in the first place. Uh, and thing is, with this is the thing. Uh, as much as I said, it's free energy. Energy go about stars and everything like that. It's not clean energy with these ETs and stuff like that. Um, Very corrosive, cause cancer, and stuff like that. So I mean, there is a reason for people like Elon Musk to create some things, but we have the technology for limitless energy. Um, it needs to be refined um, and engineered right. But
That is increasingly focusing on what I believe is a consciousness connection to the UAP phenomenon. I do think that there is a link between what we call psychic phenomena, telepathy, or psionics, as is the more neutral term that's used by the military and the defense community. I do believe that there is a connection between human psionic abilities, telepathic, psychic abilities, and consciousness, and that the UAP phenomenon is tied into that. And I suspect this is one of the largest reasons for why this is being kept secret and for why the NHI are not overtly showing themselves. And my growing hypothesis, it's just a hypothesis because there's a few things I can't tell you right now that I'm going to be reporting on in coming weeks, and I'm very excited to be bringing you that story. But I do know that the Air Force has been working on psionics for many, many decades.
yeah,
They never stopped investigating the power of the human mind and consciousness ever since the Stargate program and the remote viewing program. I know it's been poo-pooed. I know there's a George Clooney movie based on John Ronson's book called The Men Who Stare at Goats. And I know all the supposed debunkers say it's BS. But I can tell you, it's not BS. I've seen it for myself.
yeah.
And it's
I've seen it too, and people can learn how to remote view and use psychic abilities. Let's just say the stupid Neuralink bullshit that Elon Musk. I don't trust. We don't need Neuralink to learn dozens of languages to communicate. We have telepathy. We have psychic abilities to communicate with each other. We just have to find a way to re-access them, as some of our ancestors had over the ages and stuff like that. You lose some of that knowing how to do that. Um, so not people have different abilities, different psychic abilities. They're not all the same. Everyone doesn't have the same kind, but we do have the ability to psychically communicate, and through telepathy. I've actually done a little bit with some people myself. Psychic messaging. Me and others have done stuff with me and everything. So it involves opening up your conscious to and opening your mind and everything. And um, this dimension that we live in is so fake in many ways, so many different levels. Because we're only in the flesh, and we're not just flesh, we are the spirit. We're actually made of energy, electromagnetic energy. When we die, we become energy. Um, when I went to our side, I went through something that also was like spontaneous combustion, and I almost burned alive. Um, uh, Obviously, I didn't, but what happened is my body went on fire, and I soaked through 3 feet of of this special type of uh, bed mattress, and they had to throw it out. This is 3 feet, this big, okay, and I soaked through it, and my body turned to fire. And after this happened, I realized that's a different video. But anyways, um, we have, some seem to have the ability to heal people. I've been able to heal some people for certain amounts of time. Um, you call it also chi, um, as people in Asia call it. And these other religions, um, you know, they talk about the use of ki and chi to heal the body and mind, and it's real. It's just stupid Western thinking, and the stupid religion say is witchcraft and all this other bullshit. And there's reason for keeping this stuff secret because it destroys all the BS of religion, and we don't need oil anymore. We don't need electricity. We don't need nuclear power. Um, and it replaces NASA. Uh, so many things that just coming out. And ETs do not always want to be known that they're there. There are the good and bad. The bad ones do not care to be hindered by us, and they only see us as monkeys. They only see us as cockroaches, and so many of them also use us for breeding purposes and commit sexual crimes against us. Um, and stuff, and they do not want all that knowledge out there. Even though I think some of our psychic abilities, they can feel us, and we are communicating more with them, with us seeing them more. It is obvious to me that we are psychically communicating with some of them because they know we're looking up at the sky to them. They know that we know that they know. They know that. So this is a way of them communicating back. And I don't want no stupid military getting in the way of us being going to enlightenment. There's good bad with ETs just like there are with humans and stuff. So there's so many things.
It's real.
Reasons.
And in forthcoming weeks, you will see why I say it's real. And I believe the United States Air Force has knowingly deceived Congress, successive presidents, and the American public and the world about what it knows for far too long. It's time for this story to be told. Now, coming back to the question from Mr. D'Arc, I think the NHI are showing themselves in our skies to twig our consciousness, to make us humans aware of capabilities that many of us don't even realise we have.
Yes.
And I've seen those capabilities demonstrated in recent months. I know they're real, and I frankly don't give a flying fig what the debunkers or the skeptics or the trolls would say about that. It's real, and
Amen to that.
Eating humble pie.
Amen to that.
The capacity for the human mind to engage externally with some kind of uber consciousness has been speculated about in science. Go and have a look at the work on microtubules. Let's have a look at what modern science is speculating about a quantum connection between the human brain and an external consciousness. That's where we're going in this. So what if UAPs are merely a manifestation of something that is above and around us, a consciousness? Some might call it God.
Those itches. Sorry.
Yeah, I know, this is heavy stuff. But what if the purpose of its engagement with the human race is to slowly twig our awareness and to encourage us to use abilities that we don't even know we have.
I know we
I'm
have
very
it.
interested in hearing from people who were part of the GATE program 20 to 30 years ago, who found themselves in rooms with US Air Force officers and strange psychologists in white lab coats, showing them on occasion strange, apparently non-human objects.
Yeah.
Yes, this has
Yeah,
been
I heard
happening.
about that.
Young kids, prepubertal kids, have been misused in experimentation by our military in experiments designed to develop an understanding of how to engage with the phenomenon, with a consciousness. And I think at the same time that NHI consciousness
And with me, I have, if I want to, it could drive a person insane as well. But for people that can control it a lot better than I can, keep their heads together. For me, um, you can see the dead. You know, you don't feel spirits around you, and this bullshit that these dumbass psychologists and psychiatrists say that these things aren't real. They're real pieces of shit. Um, yeah, of course, some people just see things, no doubt. But these things are also real. Being able to see the dead is real. There are different type of extraterrestrials. We do have Bigfoot. We do have Sasquatches around the world. Um, we do have a lot of different entities on Earth, different species that a lot of people think that are fake and they're not. Um, you know, all these things that so-called idiot experts in the field of psychology and people in government and other so-called people in authority that think they know everything. They don't know anything. They don't. And there are different dimensions, there are different worlds out there. And there is a way we can access other dimensions and other beings, sentience, and stuff like that. So,
is trying to engage with humanity individually. I've spoken to so many people. I had a message this morning from one person who's an very senior US Air Force person working in a very sensitive area who told me that they had psychic abilities and they'd never spoken about it. But when they told me about their sighting of a gigantic craft, I said to them, by any chance, do you have psychic abilities? Have you ever had an intuition or a precognition? And they said they were very moved by my question because they'd never really spoken about it. But yes, they have. And everybody I talk to tells me about intuition, precognition, some kind of
the visions
second
of
sight,
future
some
and
kind of
stuff
insight
like that.
that gives them an ability to understand or engage with things in a way that humans can't quite understand. And I think that's what lies behind our understanding or our growing understanding of the phenomenon. I think that if these are craft, if they are craft at all, they are a manifestation of a consciousness that is trying to engage with humanity. And I think, interestingly enough, the evidence that I am acquiring suggests that these craft can only be operated by people with those psionic abilities. Watch this space. More to come on this. Now, the other question from Mr. Dark was, are there agreements? And are those agreements perhaps constraining why and what we can be told? Now, that's a good question. As you know, if you were a watcher of the interview I did with David Grush back in June 2023, David Grush, to a very limited extent, referred into what he was allowed to reveal through his DOPSA, his Defence Office Pre-Publication Security Review. He referred to unspecified agreements. Now, I've been investigating that, and I do believe it's possible, plausible, I haven't confirmed it, that sections of the US military concluded agreements with a non-human intelligence. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if there was an agreement of non-disclosure, perhaps some kind of Star Trek-like prime directive where the NHI didn't want humanity informed. Wouldn't be surprised at all if that was the case. I haven't had it explicitly said to me, but I have had multiple sources refer to agreements. Okay, so let's just examine that. Firstly, if such an agreement was made, how could it possibly be legal? How could the whole planet be bound by an agreement that a bunch of jumped-up, hubristic, arrogant...
Well, this is the thing, and I should probably let him keep going, but the thing is, I have to interject because there are different races, not just one. Also, not everyone in the military intelligence is privy to an extraterrestrial NHI agreement. So there's leeway. Oh my god. There is like loophole upon loophole with any agreement if one part of the government or military branch of the military or subsection, I should say subsection of military intelligence, black operation type of group has this understanding or has this agreement. Other parts don't. They're not privy to that. So it doesn't exist. Do you get what I'm saying?
Men in the 1950s or the 1940s concluded with a non-human intelligence. Why would they have any right to make a decision on humanity's behalf? And moreover, if the Congress and certain presidents were not properly informed, as I am confident they were not, and in complete breach of Article 1 of the US Constitution, then those officers of the US Air Force are in serious breach of their oath to the US Constitution, which is an act of treason.
It is, because they're supposed to protect the people.
Treason. That's what we're talking about here. So if these people are aware that people like myself and others are on their tail, and that disclosure is imminent, that Congress is now getting close, if I was you guys, I would be thinking very seriously about coming forward, because you are going to face treason charges if your government doesn't decide to exonerate you or put you before a Truth and Reconciliation Commission where you are given immunity in return for telling the truth. You face the very grave probability of criminal charges. And yes, I do think there are people who should be going to jail as a result of what I've learned about the legacy program.
Well, there was murder involved. Lots of people have been killed to keep this a secret. Like I said, they do it, under the guise of saying that they committed suicide, or they were in a car accident, or they disappeared, couldn't find them. So you got that as well.
Program. Experiment.
They should be executed. These people are kept in secret. A lot of them should be executed for committing those crimes and letting it happen.
On children, murder, intimidation, bullying, threats. Not a good look, guys.
Real men in black.
Okay, moving on. The next question is from @JohnnyM6338. This is a long one, but it's a good one. Ross, while I can understand and agree with the need to keep the technology portion of the information secure for obvious reasons, why is it necessary to overclassify the NHI biological materials and the scientific information classified? That information is essential to advancing our understanding of astrobiology. That's essentially blocking our scientific advancement, which I don't believe any government has the right to do. And I can't see how releasing such information and samples to the research community can in any way jeopardise national security. Can you? I mean, come on, we know they have these materials. Yes, we do. And they know that we know that they do.
Anyways,
So why would any...
I think I've so much stuff I've been over. You guys could look at this at News Nation. This is Coultert. Um, let's see. But I just wanted to get in this part, and I could go through different subsections along with this. Um, hostile tensions, NHIs themselves, with the reasons for our greatest minds. I've been through so much of this already. Uh, anyways, um, tell me what y'all think. Leave a like, um, comment. Um, everybody have a great morning tonight, and peace out.